leg of the Copa del Rey, because we're having the finalists right now in front of us, and it's going to be Barcelona and Athletic Bilbao. Wow. Well, going to that game yesterday, I was thinking, okay, if you want to look at experience and all that, maybe it could go in the way of Bilbao, but Levante also fought very hard. But it was an extra time. That's good to show that it wasn't as easy as we think than Barca and Sevilla. But all the same, Ike Mune and his guys are celebrating right now that they're in the final.
Yeah, going into this game, Levante had the advantage because they got the away goal. So all they had to do was to play out a goalless draw, and they will be in the final to play against Barcelona. Although we know that Athletic Bilbao already had qualified for the final from last year, which was not played due to COVID-19. So they will be actually playing two finals this year. That's because they qualified last night. So Levante had the advantage going into this game. They just had to keep a clean sheet and they will have qualified. But then Athletic Bilbao, of course, they were not going to just come there and lie down. They had to fight, and they did, making it 1-1 before eventually in extra time getting the decisive goal. So they advanced 3-2 on aggregates. Yeah, so that's great for them now, getting to the final to play against Barcelona. Well, they've won the Copa del Rey title a couple of times. I think the last time was in 1983-1984. They have won it about 23 times now. So looking at Barcelona, well, they are from the same region in Spain, and they tend to play the same way. They have the same philosophy of playing football. They know that it's going to be a big game, but they will be hoping that they can get one over Barcelona. It's not like they've never beaten Barcelona before. They've actually done that in the past. So they will be looking at this and hoping that they can become champions twice in a year in the Copa del Rey. But you also know that it is they could also lose two finals, which will be really disappointing for them. You know, so that's the thing. They will be playing Real Sociedad on the 3rd of April. In the final in Seville. That is the final for the last 2019-2020 edition, and now the one for 2020-2021. They've qualified for the final. This will be played against Barcelona on the 17th of April in Seville. So I don't know if they win the one against Real Sociedad. I hope they will not celebrate too much and forget that there is another final. Yeah, but it's going to be unique. I don't think we've ever had this kind of situation where one team will win the same competition twice in the same year. But because of how the world radically changed last year, following the outbreak of COVID, COVID actually broke out in 2019, but the impact was really felt in 2020. So wait and see. Good luck to Athletic Bilbao, especially to somebody like Ike Mune. Well, players of Athletic Bilbao from that region of Spain, they hardly move away from there. They like usually homegrown talent, and they just stay there for the rest of their career. But some of them have actually moved, and they've done great stuff for themselves. But the bulk of those players from the Basque region, they usually remain there and basically just play their football. They don't care about the law of getting more money or winning laurels and whatever. They just stay to their traditional roots. So they are a close-knit side. That's why, even though they don't usually go on to dominate in the Spanish La Liga, but they are usually one of the sides that will give you beautiful brand of football. The current manager of Leeds United,
Marcelo Bielsa,
was their manager for a very long time, and even before Pep Guardiola took over at Barcelona, he went to his house. He is somebody that Pep Guardiola even understudied, you know. So Pep Guardiola respects him very much, and that friendship has carried on. That mutual admiration has carried on even in the English Premier League. So the imprint of Bielsa is still very much visible in how Athletic Bilbao plays the beautiful game. So but how are we backing them to win the 2 titles, but I know that Barcelona, they will face a Herculean task.
Yeah.
Of course, they've still got Lionel Messi. I don't care how old he is. I mean, he has proven it this season that he's still very much one of the best players around. You can even argue that he's still the very best player in the world. When you see some of the goals that he scores, you just feel if he has a better supporting cast in Barcelona, then Lionel Messi would almost every year be winning the World Footballer of the Year and be winning trophies. But he can't do everything. He can't be the one to make the pie. But even with what is happening, with the poor season in inverted commas that we think he's having, he's outscoring everybody there. He is having more assists than everybody. He's having more dribbles, more take-ons than almost everybody. You know, so it's great that what he's been able to do. So Athletic Bilbao will have their work cut out for them when they play against Barcelona on the 17th of April. But if they can beat Real Sociedad on the 3rd of April in Seville, and maybe that will give them a massive shot in the arm to go on and take Barcelona.
All right, it was Levante who took the lead yesterday through Roger, and that was in the first half. But before the end of that first half, Raul Garcia equalized through penalty. Then Alex Perangua got the winning goal in extra time. So that's seeded for Athletic Bilbao. Congrats to them. I will look forward to seeing that final between them and Barcelona. And for Barcelona, they had to overcome a 2-0 deficit to beat Sevilla 3-0 and 3-2 on aggregate. Same with this same scoreline, 3-2 on aggregate to reach the final. So looking forward to that game and to see where the pendulum will swing. Okay, from that now, let's talk about the English Premier League. Those they were 3 matches last night, but the one that took place at Anfield was the biggest. Yes, one would expect Liverpool to react positively following their poor performances at home since they lost their first game after going on so many games without a loss. But right now, 5 consecutive defeats for Liverpool, the first for any reigning champion of the top flight in the top flight division in England since it became Premier League, the first club to be champions and to lose 5 consecutive home games. Liverpool, what an unwanted record. And for Mason Mount, many thought Lampard relied on him too much while he was there, but right now the young man is beginning to show that yes, in top matches he could also be the star player. He struck the winning goal yesterday, and that sees it for Thomas Tuchel, who is unbeaten right now.
For Liverpool, it's not just about being a poor defending champion. I mean, that's not even what we're looking at right now. Anfield used to be a fortress.
Yeah.
Well, in the modern era of the English Premier League, you would look at Chelsea's home record at Stamford Bridge and you feel, okay, they made, especially under Jose Mourinho, made Stamford Bridge a fortress. But the team with the second best home record in the English Premier League, well, Liverpool. And you just feel that, okay, if they are going to retain their title or give it a good go, really perform well this season, it will be anchored on solid displays at home. But they have been more vulnerable at home, at Anfield, than anywhere else. Yes, I understand that the fans are not there, but come on, this is Anfield that we are talking about. They should be able to perform much better. 5 consecutive losses at home. When it happened against, I think it was Burnley that first beat them, it just okay. It's one of those things, you know, Burnley struggling, maybe sometimes you are taking on aways and it happens.
Brighton
over Albion came, beats them. And we're like, okay, this is really bad, but you know, you could still excuse it. There is no way they are going to lose 3 consecutive home matches. Manchester City came and just basically obliterated them, and we felt, okay, this is Manchester City, no shame in losing to City. Then their City rivals, Everton came and said, no, these are regular customers for Liverpool.
Yeah.
They have not won at Anfield in a million years. There is no way they can beat Liverpool. But they were thumped 2-0. And you see, all these matches, Liverpool, they've even failed to score at Anfield. And yesterday, they were beaten. But okay, against Manchester City, they scored.
They scored in that game.
They scored one goal against that match was 4-1. But what was that? It was a penalty. They've not scored in open play. Yes, they've not scored in open play at Anfield in 5 games. Then last night against Chelsea, you felt okay. At least this one had the additional incentive of top 4. If you win, you go into the top 4. That was what was at stake. Apart from the rivalry, apart from Liverpool trying to save their season and everything. But yesterday they lost 1-0, and it could have been more. Looking at some of the play of Chelsea, Timo Werner was really unfortunate to be adjudged offside. When you look at that goal that he scored, I thought Liverpool should have got a penalty. I don't know why that wasn't given, the handball against N'Golo Kante. But final analysis is that Liverpool lost for the 5th consecutive time. It is on. I mean, this is not something. If you are talking at the beginning of the season, that will get to a point where Liverpool will lose 5 consecutive matches. If you had just told me they will lose 5 consecutive matches, I will even laugh at you and say you don't know what you're talking about. And if you now told me that they will lose 5 consecutive games at Anfield, I'll say no, that's impossible. There is no way that is going to happen. But here we are, Liverpool making, as one top columnist said, they were making a mockery of defending the title, and they told us at the beginning that they're going to attack the title and not even defend it. This is really, really horrible what they've been able to do, and now they've got to realistically look at the possibility of not even making Europe at all. But they have got to wake up. They've got to really try and get things back to the way it was. I know they've had injury problems, but they are not the only club that has had some players out injured. There is hardly a club you will go that every time for the whole 38 matches they will have the full complements of their players. It's basically impossible for that to happen. So Liverpool, yes, I know very important players have been out injured for long periods, but it doesn't justify what is going on. You cannot have world-class strikers like Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, like Roberto Firmino.
Even adding Diogo Jota.
Diogo Jota was out injured. He just came back. And I don't understand what Jurgen Klopp did yesterday. Why take off Mohamed Salah? And you can see that Salah wasn't happy. And remember that recently we were talking about Hassan Kocha saying maybe he should move on to a club like Barcelona or whatever. From the reaction of Salah yesterday, I will be surprised if he stays at Liverpool next season, because you could tell that he was just frustrated and he didn't really know what was going on. So with Jurgen, I thought that with Salah there, they will have at least stood a better chance of getting a good. All through the 90 minutes, it was one passage of play. Somehow the stats now read that Liverpool had a shot on target, but there was no shot, no attempt that you see. Oh, this had Mendy in goal for Chelsea scrambling. I mean, they hardly.
The confidence in that team right now is really low. Despite the injury worries, the confidence is really low. So Jurgen Klopp should try and do something.
The injuries, but look, he had the opportunity of getting quality central defenders in January, but he thought he didn't need them, and it was towards the end of the transfer window when it was almost slamming shut. That's when he now brought in Kabak and one of the that he brought in, and even yesterday,
but the quality
Fabinho as a central defender. So and besides, Fabinho has played central defense even when Virgil van Dijk went off injured, and they did well. They did well playing Fabinho in central defense. So there are no excuses that okay, because Virgil van Dijk is out injured, that's the reason why they are not playing this well. And of course the influential midfielder, their captain Jordan Henderson is also out. They've had rotten luck with injuries, but that does not justify how poorly that they have played this season. But you know, they would I thought they had a very good shot for a penalty yesterday. If a handball could be given against Lemina, and then because of that, Fulham were denied a goal. What I thought was a good goal scored by Josh
Maja, yeah. But that's VRO. The controversy once again.
Handball. But this one now you're saying somehow it wasn't handball. I don't understand how handball was not given against Kante. When they played against Manchester United, I said that should not have been given as a penalty against Callum Hudson-Odoi. But on that of yesterday was very clear. I thought that it was nailed on handball and should have been given, because N'Golo Kante's hands were not in what you call a natural position. You know, he had his hand up, and that's when who took that shot? Was it Roberto Firmino or I think it was Firmino who attempted to cross the ball, and then he hits the hand of N'Golo Kante. So I thought a penalty should have been awarded to Liverpool there, but the referee thought otherwise, and VAR checked and they felt everything was okay, and the match continued. But look, that's just, you know, an isolated case. They did not play on the balance of play. Liverpool did not deserve to
they don't get the point, because they did not there was no spark. There was not despite the fact that yes, okay, they've had some issues, but even if they lose to Chelsea, but you have, okay, 50-50, maybe by ball possession, maybe it was, you know, by a sheer luck that Chelsea got that goal. But they just, you know, they fell flat, and the losing run at home continue. Let's see if they'll be able to put things right in their next game at Anfield. That was a perfect one for Thomas Tuchel, still unbeaten, where Mason Mount has so far scored 3 goals under the German. So let's see how far.
Yeah, and for Mason Mount, I think he's proving his critics wrong. He was called Frank Lampard's son and everything because of the way Lampard was always using it. I thought at one point Lampard was basically overusing him. I mean, even if the guy is that good, you don't have to.
Yeah, he's got future.
Week out. But I think Tuchel has been able to manage him maybe even better, and we are beginning to see what Frank Lampard saw in him. And you know, many analysts have said, look, every coach would play this guy, and it was thought that with the arrival of Kai Havertz, he was going to be the one to survive. He's likely to leave and everything, but he's basically been the guy carrying Chelsea through some bad patches, and he proved it yesterday. Super goal, very fantastic goal that he scored, and he has now scored 12 and assisted 8 goals in the Premier League for Chelsea. And at the age of 22 and 53 days old, he is the second youngest player to reach 20 goals and assists for the club in the competition, after their former winger Arjen Robben, who was 21 years and 337 days. So that's the. And for Salah, what we're talking about, he was substituted in the 62nd minute. The only time he has been taken off earlier in a Premier League game at Anfield was for Chelsea against the Reds in April 2014. He was taken off in the 60th minute when he was playing for Chelsea against Liverpool. So it's not been very good for Liverpool, and they have become the first English top flight reigning champions to lose 5 consecutive home games. That's not the kind of start that you want.
All right,
for Tuchel, since he took charge of his first Premier League game as Chelsea boss, that was on the 27th of January, only Manchester City, who have got 24 points, have picked up more points than the Blues during this period. He's got 18 points in this period.
Okay, let's go on a break, and when we return, we'll look at what happened at between Everton yesterday and West Bromwich Albion, then Fulham and Tottenham Hotspur. The battle for top 4 is really getting hotter by the day. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.
Honey?
Yes, dear.
I'm tired of the poor power situation. Every time I stock the fridge, I come back to spoiled food. I think it's about time we go solar.
How?
With Vertical Solar, we can have all our appliances and electronics powered by solar, and they allow us to pay small. We can pay installmentally with as low as 36,000 naira monthly, spread across 12 months.
Tell me more.
I know you like the idea of paying small. Vertical Solar range of products can power all household devices, including air conditioners and water pumps.
What are the benefits of solar power?
We are talking uninterrupted power supply, no monthly electricity bill, no more spending on generator, and no more generator noise.
I see. But how can I locate Vertical Solar?
Head now to 28 Country Home Metal Road off Ajib Junction, Sapele Road, Benin City, or Blossom Mall beside Stop to Shop stores, DBS Road, Asaba. Or you can call them on 0816-170-1105 or 0703-623-4843. You can also send them an email on info@verticalsolar.com.ng.
Vertical Solar, your lifetime power partners.
Do you know that following people without their consent is stalking and it's an offense? Don't be an offender. We give our consent for you to follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at KUFM Nigeria, on Instagram at KUFM Nigeria, on Twitter at KUFM Nigeria. Check out the latest pictures and videos and catch breaking news, entertainment gist, trending issues and happenings on social media by following us at KUFM Nigeria across the various platforms. KUFM, turn on excitement.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's chosen toothpaste Colgate because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Now the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Welcome back, and in case you are just joining us, it's Sports Fiesta reaching you live on 2.7 KUFM down here in Benin City. I am the Sports Maestro, and I've also got Sally Ibrahim in the studio this morning. Okay, before I went on the break, we told you what happened between Levante and Athletic Bilbao, and Bilbao are now in the final to face Barcelona. Meanwhile, they also have another final against Sociedad of 2019-2020 season. Between Chelsea and Liverpool yesterday, it was a one-sided game because there was no spark from the rest, but Chelsea were able to build on the unbeaten run of the manager, and they won away from home 1-0. All right, the top four right now is getting hotter by the day, and we also had two teams away from home yesterday. They were able to get victories. Tottenham Hotspur beating Fulham 1-0, and also Everton also beating West Bromwich Albion at the Autumn. So it's getting tougher by the day, and for Tottenham Hotspur, I don't know if they'll be able to make the top four, but for Everton, they are closer because they're just 1 point behind the Blues.
Yeah, Everton, doing well, and their manager is beginning. They even have a game in hand on both Liverpool and Chelsea. So if they win, they would go. And incidentally, their next game is against Chelsea. So that's
Everton.
Yeah, Everton.
Wow.
Yes, their next game is against Chelsea. So they would a win for them there, but that's going to be at Stamford Bridge. They beat Chelsea 1-0 in the reverse fixture at Goodison Park. So they will know that a win for them would take them into the top four. And Richarlison has been in very good form. He scored in 4 consecutive games, which is really great for him. The manager, Carlo Ancelotti, has been telling his side that they've got to really push for this and get into that top four. They are on 46 points from their 26 matches. They are 5th. Chelsea are 4th, 47 points from 27. And then you have Liverpool in 7th, 43 points from 27. So even though they've played a game less, Everton are ahead of Liverpool, and they will really try and get the maximum points against Chelsea. But Chelsea, having beaten Liverpool away from home yesterday, will also be feeling very confident. But in that, in the what they've been able to do, Everton, I think they will feel really confident that they can go on to win this. And it's amazing that the 3 matches that we had last night in the English Premier League all ended in 1-0 victories for the away side. It's although that the match between Tottenham and between Fulham and Tottenham, you got to feel really sorry for Fulham, because I thought that goal should have stood. But the law is the law, and as we sometimes say, the law is an ass. So maybe the officials should have perhaps used their discretion. I heard that IFAB will be meeting very soon, I think inside this week or next week, to review the handball rule, because the officials stuck to the letter of the law.
Yeah.
Even
if the player has nowhere to put his hand.
It, but I mean, for God's sake, what was he supposed to do? What was Lemina supposed to do? Was he supposed to cut off his arm or dive out of the way? I just do not get what he was supposed to do. His hands was not. I mean, he didn't stretch his hand.
No.
He had it by his side. There was absolutely nothing he could do. Then the ball touched him in the build-up before Josh Maja, and Josh Maja did not even score at the first attempt. It was the second attempt, so maybe enough time had passed for them to just ignore that. Sometimes this is where you've got to use your discretion. The rule, unfortunately, the rule as it is now states that if there is handball in the build-up to a goal, that is, if it is the attacking team, if they handle the ball in the build-up to the goal, then the goal is not given. Whether it is intentional or that's what they said. They just said handball. They didn't, and this is where it gets confusing. Maybe they could have clarified it a bit by saying, look, if the player does everything to get his hand out of the way, then it is not handball. But they just said handball, and you leave it open to interpretation. Did he touch the hand or not? Yeah, he touched the hand, but the hand was in the body. Did he touch the hand or not? That is what the referees are looking at, and that's how they give it. But the rule is so inconsistent, because if it is a defender that the ball touched that way, they will not give a penalty, because then you will see the justification that, oh, come on, his hand was not spread. He had his hand tucked in and everything. What was he supposed to do? Could he make his hand disappear and all that? So why would you not give that as a penalty? If Lemina had been in his own 18-yard box, that would not have been given as a penalty. So why now use that same incident to deny Fulham what was a deserved equalizer? So they've got to really look at these rules and find out and come up with something that would make it really comfortable for everybody, because sometimes we'll feel aggrieved that they are being cheated and all of that. And if you look at VAR interventions, from what Fulham fans are saying, it has cost them about 6 points this season, and this is a team that's battling relegation. So if they had those 6 points, they would almost be safe at this time. So it's really something that you don't want to see. You watched the Fulham versus Tottenham game, and you see that handball intervening, and that meant that Fulham did not get at least a ball. They should have allowed that goal, and maybe that would have been a point. Then a couple of hours later, we watched Chelsea versus Liverpool, and we see N'Golo Kante's hand being up, and the ball struck it, and it isn't given as a penalty. So why the inconsistency? Why would handball that shouldn't have been handball, that should not have been given as handball in the Fulham and Tottenham match, being be used to deny Fulham a goal, and then what ought to have been a penalty to Liverpool was not given? So this inconsistency in the rule is what I think IFAB might try to clarify when they meet very soon, and so that we can really enjoy the game. And even you look at before Chelsea fans say I am just looking at Liverpool, how about their own incident? That's offside against Timo Werner. look, this is what we've said it over and over again about when they start ruling those lines. If it is so, it's not very clear cut. It is so minimal that you have to use technology. You have to start ruling lines. You've got to.
Then John, why not allow the goal to stand?
Yeah.
Why not allow the goal to stand? If it's something that is glaring, it's glaring, and okay, everyone knows. Okay, this is
VAR was brought in to basically deal with clear and obvious errors. That is, without once you have a review of it, you can see the officials made a mistake the first time they saw it, and that was because maybe the action was too fast and everything. But when you now, especially this offside rule, when you start have to draw lines and look, when it is clear that it's offside, you see clearly that this guy is a foot ahead. It's very
not a
clear.
finger,
but when you start, you look at the toe, you look at the armpit, you look at some of this things. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's killing
football.
It's making people can't even celebrate anymore, except if you score the kind of goal that Mason Mount scored yesterday, or there is a free kick. But come on, even with free kicks, we've seen now that the referees can blow their whistle, and when they blow, it happened with Brighton and Hove Albion. Remember that free kick that they played over the weekend, Lewis Dunk, and the referee blew. He was asked, Lewis Dunk asked him, "Can I have a quick free kick?" which is allowed in football, and he said, "Yeah, no problem." And the moment he blew his whistle, he saw that who did they play against? He saw that the goalkeeper of the opposing team was not ready. He was standing at one
end of the post.
Yes, and he just immediately sounded the whistle again, as if to say, "Oh, sorry, I made a mistake." And it created so much confusion. Eventually, Brighton and Hove Albion were denied what should have been a legitimate goal for them. So when technology is intervening and it is creating more problems to the game, you've got to wonder, was Blatter right when he said, "Look, let's just leave it the way it is"? But of course, what he was basically talking about was goal line technology, and we know that the best, honestly, the best introduction, the best use
that we've seen so far
in football is goal line technology, because that one, no arguments. You can see clearly whether the whole of the ball has crossed the whole of the line. So that one is usually obvious, So that's the situation.
All right, quickly let's look at the basketball matches that we played. Then we also talk about tennis. What happened in Argentina as Benoit Paire was docked a point, and he also crashed out from the tournament. The Argentina Open. So we'll look at that. But before then, let's just look at the basketball and get the results of the matches that we played yesterday.
Yeah, no, this is the last round of matches that will be played in a while, because from tomorrow, I think they are going on a break. So we have so many games played. Let's look at the results. We had Toronto Raptors taking on Boston Celtics. The Celtics won this game 132 points to 125. Chris Boucher got 30 points and 5 rebounds for Toronto Raptors, while Jason Tatum got 27 points, 12 rebounds and 5 assists for Boston Celtics. LA Clippers were beaten by Washington Wizards 119 points to 117. So Kawhi Leonard for LA Clippers got 22 points, 5 rebounds and 3 assists, while Russell Westbrook of Washington Wizards scored 27 points, 9 rebounds and 11 assists. Detroit Pistons lost to
New York Knicks.
The Knicks won 114 points to 108. Missing Plumlee from Detroit Pistons got 12 points, 13 rebounds and 4 assists, while Julius Randle of New York Knicks scored 27 points, 16 rebounds and 7 assists. Denver Nuggets beat Indiana Pacers 113 points to 103. Michael Porter Jr. of Denver Nuggets got 24 points, 14 rebounds and 2 steals, while Miles Turner scored 22 points, 12 rebounds and 1 steal for Indiana Pacers. Milwaukee Bucks beat the Memphis Grizzlies by just 1 point, 112 to 111. Giannis Antetokounmpo got 26 points, 11 rebounds and 8 assists, while Ja Morant for Memphis Grizzlies got 35 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Miami Heat defeated New Orleans Pelicans 103 points to 93. Jimmy Butler for Miami Heat dropped 29 points. He got 3 rebounds and 9 assists, while Brandon Ingram scored 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. Oklahoma City Thunder defeated San Antonio Spurs 107 points to 102. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of Oklahoma City Thunder got 33 points, 3 rebounds, and 8 assists, while Trey Lyles of San Antonio Spurs got 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 assist. Sacramento Kings lost to Trailblazers. The Blazers won 123 points to 119. Damian Lillard of Portland Trailblazers got 44 points, 1 rebound, and 7 assists, while De'Aaron Fox got 32 points, 8 rebound, and 12 assists for Sacramento Kings. Golden State Warriors were beaten by Phoenix Suns 120 points to 98. Jordan Poole got 26 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist for Golden State Warriors, while Cameron Payne got 17.5 rebounds and 10 assists for Phoenix Suns.
All right, the matches the Wednesday are coming up. That will be after the break. But for now, we have got no matches for you. As Ibrahim told you, this is the last round of matches as they go on the break. We hope that they come back strong and give us something really, really interesting as they have started in the NBA. All right, let's talk about tennis. I don't know, not that it's always in the news for the wrong reasons as far as I'm concerned, but the Frenchman Benoit Paire, the way he crashed out of the Argentina Open, it was in a bizarre fashion after being docked a point for spitting and then appearing to give up his final service game. He faced Argentine opponent Francisco Cerundolo. Paire was first given a warning and then penalized by umpire Nacho Forcade. Then the tournament professor was caught in an attempt to calm the Frenchman down, but the 31-year-old then served 2 wide double faults to lose 4-6, 6-3, 6-1. The flashpoint in the second round came when a serve from world number 137, Cerundolo, age 22, was deemed an ace in the second set. So it's out, and that's what happened yesterday as far as the Argentina Open is concerned. These are just some of the ATP matches before the Grand Slam would take place. All right, from there now, let's look at the fixtures of the matches to expect this weekend, and we've got a couple of them out here talking about the English Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, as well as Nigerian professional football leagues. We are going to be taking them one after the other this morning. Okay, quickly we'll look at the English Premier League. And the English Premier League, we've got a couple of games right here waiting for us this weekend, and on Monday of it we'll have the big match between Everton and Chelsea, because they are so close to each other at the moment. Where the pendulum will swing, no one knows at the moment, but on Monday next week we'll be seeing that. But quickly try and see the fixtures that we've got for you guys this weekend. Okay, we're trying to get that of the
English Premier League. Burnley will play against Arsenal. Sheffield United will take on Southampton. Aston Villa versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Brighton and Hove Albion will play against Leicester City. These matches are on Saturday. On Sunday, it's going to be West Bromwich Albion versus Newcastle United. Liverpool taking on Fulham. Manchester City versus Manchester United. That's going to be the biggest match in Europe this weekend. And Tottenham Hotspur taking on Crystal Palace. All
right, so look at the Spanish La Liga starting tonight. Valencia taking on Villarreal at the Mestalla Stadium. That match is slated for 8 p.m. Then on Saturday it will be Real Valladolid at home to Itafe at lunchtime. Then Elche will take on Sevilla. Cadiz will entertain Eibar, while Osasuna will play host to Barcelona. Sunday, Huesca will be at home to Celta Vigo. Atletico Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitano will take on Real Madrid. The Madrid derby promises to be explosive. Then Real Sociedad will be at home to Levante, where Athletic Bilbao takes on Granada. Then on Monday, it will be Real Betis versus Alaves. That is what we've got for you as far as the Spanish La Liga is concerned. Then the Italian Serie A Spezia starts since tomorrow afternoon against the Benevento. The Udinese at home will take on Sassuolo. Juventus will face Lazio. That promises to be explosive. Cristiano Ronaldo taking on Ciro Immobile. On Sunday, AS Roma will be at home to Genoa. Crotone will face Torino. Fiorentina versus Parma. Verona will take on AC Milan. Sampdoria will battle Cagliari, while Napoli will trade tackle with Bologna. We expect our own Victor Osimhen to be back on his feet so he can bang in goals before the end of the season. Inter Milan will entertain Atalanta on Monday. That promises to be entertaining as well. Okay, from there now we'll go over to the German Bundesliga, which starts tonight. Schalke 04 at the Vettins Arena. We play host to Mainz 05. Then tomorrow Saturday, Eintracht Frankfurt will take on Stuttgart. Hertha Berlin versus FC Wolfsburg. Hoffenheim will face versus Augsburg rather. Then Hoffenheim will take on Wolfsburg. Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Bayer Leverkusen. SC Freiburg will take on RB Leipzig, while Bayern Munich will face Borussia Dortmund. We've got some big matches coming up this weekend. On Sunday, it will be FC Cologne versus Werder Bremen. Arminia Bielefeld will take on SC Union Berlin. That's what we've got for you as far as the German Bundesliga is concerned. Now to the French Ligue 1 starts. Okay, there are no matches for us this weekend as far as the French Ligue 1 is concerned. Okay, for them now, let's come down to Nigeria and look at what to expect in the NPFL this weekend. We've got a couple of games ready for us this weekend as far as the NPFL is concerned. Okay, looking at the fixtures. All right, so looking at the fixtures for this weekend. Warriors will take on Aqua United. Eyimba International will be at home to SC Ifeanyi. Nasarawa United will take on Lobby Stars. Adamawa United, bottom side will welcome Aqua Starlets. Plateau United at home to MFMFC. Rivers United will take on Jigawa Golden Stars. If for nothing, this is one game that Stanley Kuma was supposed to win in order for him to release the pressure on him and his boys. Kano Pillars at home will take on Rangers International, a big battle. Wiki Tourists will also entertain Kwara United right there and Wiki in Bauchi. Then Katsina United will take care of Sunshine Stars right there in Katsina, but the Baswai, we're expecting to bounce back to winning ways. Atlant will be at home to Abia Warriors in an Oriental derby. These are the matches to expect this weekend as far as NPFL is concerned. All right, so let's take a pause and look at the SMS. If we've got more time, we'll look at the rumors making the rounds as far as transfer is concerned.
Says, good morning, Sports G-Wagons. Oga Ibrahim, tell Jurgen Klopp to return Hansi Flick award to him. That might be the problem. Professor Pekupen from Diapers. This is horrible record for one of the most successful clubs in England. 5 consecutive games lost at home, 1 goal scored, considered 9 goals at home. Peter from Ipobayo. Good morning, KU Sport Magicians. I really like your analysis and I appreciate. Please keep it up. Joseph from GRA. Hi, thank you, Joseph. Oga Ibrahim, on my observation, I think part of the reason why that texter yesterday said the show is a bit boring nowadays is because Francis is no longer. Someone says, good morning, sports crew. Please, the handball against Lemina is a correct decision because the Tottenham defender was attempting to clear the ball from Tottenham's half. So it's a correct decision. And the case of Kante's handball is not deliberate at all. So the referee and the VAR stance was good as well. Jackson from Benin. That's not. There is nothing in the rule that says it has to be deliberate. You know, that's not. That's your point is not it at all. Good morning, sportsmen. The VAR is not the problem. It's the referees using it. Besides, it's not only EPL that uses it. English referees are very bad. I think Bundesliga has the best use of VAR I have ever seen in any of the top 5. No wonder no English ref was given any European match to referee in the knockout stage and also in the 2018 World Cup match from Sapele Road. Well, I think to an extent I will agree with this one regarding the interpretation of the VAR. It's not like it's the VAR itself that is the problem, but sometimes the way they implement it, the way they interpret some of the rule, maybe that's what is causing some of these issues. So that's the story. Those are the text messages that
quickly, let's just go through the transfer rumors that we've got so far for you. Arsenal, they are among the number of clubs considering the summer move for RB Leipzig 21-year-old French defender Ibrahima Konate. Konate is one of 6 deals the Gunners are working on, with the club also willing to sell France striker Alexander Lacazette, who is 29, for the right price. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola is a long-term admirer of Aston Villa and England's 25-year-old midfielder Jack Grealish, but the Premier League leaders are set to focus on signing a deeper lying midfielder as well as a striker and left back in the summer, according to the Mirror. Manchester United's Portugal midfielder Bruno Fernandes, 26, is set to sign a new contract that will double his wages to around £200,000 a week. I don't think there's anything for a debate. Even higher than that, I wouldn't be surprised, because it's the biggest player right now for United. Leicester City, they are close to clinching a £15 million deal for Celtic's 23-year-old French forward Odyssey England striker Jamie Vardy. Egypt defender Ahmed Emamandi, age 33, will leave Aston Villa on a free transfer in the summer, as the club have no plans to offer him a new contract. As for Sheffield United, the manager Chris Wilder's position is under serious threat. The Englishman and Blaze owner Prince Abdullah are disagreeing over the club's transfer policy and the hierarchy's plan for a director of football. For Napoli, the price is gradually coming down. Talking about defender Khalidou Koulibaly, the Italian side, they have reduced the asking price for the Senegal international to around 45 million euros, which is 38.7 million pounds, with Bayern Munich believed to be ahead of Liverpool and Manchester United in the race for the 29-year-old Senegal defender. From Manchester United, they are looking for an alternative club for midfielder Andres Pereira, who is age 25, this summer, because Lazio are not expected to take up the option to turn the Brazilian's loan into a permanent deal. Leicester City, they have renewed their interest in long-time target Ismail Jacobs, but the first is face competition from Brighton, who are also monitoring Cologne's Germany under-21 international. Well, these are just some of the rumors that we've got. For Juventus, they've identified Chelsea midfielder Jorginho as a plan B option if they fail to sign fellow Italy midfielder Manuel Locatelli. Jorginho leaving Chelsea. Well, let's see as things will pan out. All right, these are some of the rumors we've got for you as far as transfer is concerned. Okay, we hear that Simona